Welcome to another Thursday Geeks. This week I'm Mario. This week I talk to my geeks, talk about geeky lives, review a year into the DC New 52, and finally review a comic. Now onto the video. As already mentioned, Steph cannot be here this week because of technical difficulties, but she will be back next week, or I'm going to put myself up for adoption. And it's going to go a little something like this. For pennies a day, you can keep this poor geek in comics. This bag and board has no comic, but with your help it could. Also nerds, because I really like to eat nerds. Please help. Will you? Okay, that's less of an adoption thing and more of a help the needy, but you get the idea. Pyro, who's been telling you these mixed things about Game of Thrones? Because that doesn't make sense to me. That's like saying, I heard mixed things about puppies. I heard mixed things about sunrises. I heard mixed things about babies. I heard mixed things about ice cream. I heard mixed things about oxygen. I heard mixed things about the Avengers movie. It just doesn't make sense and I refuse to believe it. Nikki showed us her Muppet Master Theater. And finally, Luluko returned. Yay! And she said something to me in Japanese, which I loved. I don't know what she said, but I loved it. Also, she came up with my new slogan for my life, which is my life is a series of technical difficulties. I'm going to steal that and use it all the time. Now on to the question. Pyro asked this week, what dinosaur would we want as a pet? Dragon Zord! What do you mean he's not a dinosaur? He should be. Well, that's my answer, Dragon Zord, and I'm not changing it. Moving on. So over the past few weeks, based on the topics and what's been mentioned in the other Geeks videos, I realized I have a strange reaction when it comes to a geeky reference I don't get. Now usually when you make a geeky reference and someone doesn't get it, you might feel like a weirdo or an outsider. But not me. I take that as a badge of honor. Like, ha! I'm geekier than I. Geekier, I say. But when I don't get it, I feel ashamed. Like, why aren't I into that cool thing you're into? So what do I do when faced with this situation? I lie. And here are the various ways I do it. Oh yeah, that was a really good moment. I agree. Absolutely. The vague reply. Now here you just agree with the person. You don't want to add anything to the point because then you'll be in a conversation in which you know nothing about the topic. It's an easy and simple move to do. That was awesome. You know what it reminds me of? The pivot. Here you lead the conversation to a topic you do know better. But you have to make the connection smartly because if it's too random, it's going to look odd. Are you sure that happened that season? Have you been watching it? Are you sure? I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened last season. And finally, the offensive. Now this is a bit of a gamble because now you're attacking the person who actually knows what they're talking about. And they could turn around on you very easily. But if you do it quick enough, you catch them by surprise and then the focus is moved from you to them. The point of all this is I'm trying to change my evil ways. I haven't done any of these moves in a long time. Now I'm much more truthful. I'll just say, I don't understand the reference, but I will soon, which is the truth because I do like getting into new things. I've learned that it's much better to be truthful. Now I'm going to talk about comics. All this month, DC will be releasing 0 issues of all their comics to mark the 1-year anniversary of them rebooting the universe and what is referred to right now, the DC New 52. Now that it's been a year, I asked myself, was successful? Well, there's 2 ways to measure this, sales and content. On the sales end, there's no question that it was a success. If you look at the DC numbers before the reboot, they were doing very poorly. And now after, they're selling a lot more and once again neck and neck with Marvel. As for content, well, that's been a bit of a mixed bag. The creators are still shaping this new continuity. Some have been painfully stupid moves, others bold new directions to some old characters. What follows are a list of comics that I've been reading from great to sweet Jesus, please stop, you're hurting me. These are the great comics I've been reading, which is month to month a pleasure to read, pretty much have not had a weak issue. Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, yes I'm surprised by Aquaman, Animal Man, and Swamp Thing. Next are the solid comics. These are good comics that have some slip-ups here and there, but still worth checking out. Demon Knights, Batwoman, Flash, Earth 2, Supergirl, Batman Inc. Next are the disappointing comics. These have not been horrendous, but they haven't been good either. They've been very disappointing. Action Comics and Batgirl. And finally, the Sweet Jesus, Please Stop, You're Hurting Me comics, Catwoman, Suicide Squad, and Justice League. If I left a comic off the list that you enjoy, keep in mind I am only mentioning the ones I've been reading, because financially it's impossible for me to pick up the whole DC New 52. My final analysis on DC is that they need to tread lightly or they risk losing loyal readers for a long time. Although some of the moves have been cool, others have been inexcusable, like changing Harley Quinn's costume, getting rid of Stephanie Brown completely, or announcing that Tim Drake was never Robin. I mean, I get that comic book fans are averse to any kind of change, but stupid change and things that don't make sense would piss off anybody. Hopefully DC's second year they continue to grow their strong things and fix the weak, because it's definitely a world I root to succeed. This week I will be reviewing The Adventures of Dr.McNinja, written art by Chris Hastings. And that you didn't even have to review this comic, you should buy it based on the name alone. He's a doctor and a ninja. He kills with one hand and heals with the other. Okay, I can't take credit for that line, it's actually in the comic. Dr. McNinja, along with his 12-year-old sidekick, Gordito Delgado, who grew his thick mustache out of sheer force of will, and something that might interest Doctor Who fans, rides around his Velociraptor, helps Dr. McNinja's medical practice as he deals with his rival, King Radical. There are 3 arcs in this trade. The writing was hilarious. I was literally laughing every other page. There's this great running commentary at the bottom of each page that I suggest you do not skip. The artwork is excellent. This is everything good and wonderful in the world, wrapped in bliss, covered in lolcats. It is a funny, fun comic. If you don't laugh at this, there's something wrong with you. You're probably a robot, in which case I will stop the robot uprising. If you're still having doubts about it, shame on you. However, it is actually a web series, so there are free arcs available online. I will be posting a link below. So now there's no reason for you not to give it a try. I rate The Good Doctor 5 out of 5 stars. I never know how to end these videos, so I'll just say if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them. Remember to subscribe. Check out the other more cooler geeks of the week. You don't have to like me, but you do have to like them because they're awesome people. And stay geeky. Guys, seriously read Dr. McNinja. I mean, look. He's riding a freaking unicorn. Come on.